Welcome back everybody to Sweet Home 3D. In this video we're going to continue with our kitchen build series. This is going to be part 2. We're going to be working on the cabinets, specifically the upper cabinets, installing the, I think it's called the soffit. Okay, and just show you how we're going to get that done, and then show you how to do it. So with that, let's go ahead and hop into today's video. Alright, so let's start up with the tippy top. Let's do the soffit first. Now, when you're dealing with things like soffits, I don't know, cornices, stuff like that that's up top, there's like 3 ways that we know of to actually do them. The way we're going to show you, I think, is the best way. It takes a little longer. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes. Some of them are more insta, like you can use the box to do it, but it's going to skew any image that you have on there unless you use the the stock, off-white color. The other way, you can actually add like a level and then elevate the floor thickness up to the ceiling. You can do that, but we want to keep our levels clean, and then, that would work, but there's a more freedom of expression to do it this way. So this is the way we're going to show you. So this is basically a template. This is showing the distance, endpoints between the counter here, so that when we draw our walls, we have a basis to work from. Now we went a little over, and that's fine, because we want this to actually go into the wall, so that's fine. So we're going to bring it into our other save, which is Creation Station. You can pull up, you can make a new project and then export it, import it into there. So like we talked about, if you do something you didn't mean to do, your project is not in jeopardy. All right, so looking at our preferences box here, we made a few uh-ohs here. The first one, we wanted to change the floor thickness to 2 feet 6 inches, I think. Okay, but because we already had walls in here, that wouldn't take effect. All right, but we'll show you what's going on here. So the bottom looks great. Okay, if we go top side here, it looks super thin. It's only about 2 inches or whatever was in the preferences box. So we're just going to carry on. We'll show you the rest of the uh-oh here, so you don't make the same mistake. Okay, so if you do happen to want to change your height or your width, sometimes we do. Usually we don't. But you want to uncheck the key proportions box, because what's going to happen if we raise this, let's say 2 feet, the other fields are going to do the same. They're gonna follow suit. All right, because it is trying to keep that same shape. It's trying to keep that proportion. Okay, so if you want to keep the same shape, sure, but just bear in mind that it's going to, you go 4 feet up, you're going to go 4 feet wide, you're going to go 4 feet deep, etc. So here's the rest of the uh-oh. So this is actually what we're dealing with, and what we're working with is actually the floor between the second floor and the first floor. Okay, so when your walls go down to the floor, they don't just stop at the floor, they continue down. So because of that, there's no need to waste precious resources, memory, to present something that's not shown. And that's why this is all blurry. It's all, looks funky looking. So we can fix this, okay, because we are going to use the floor. And by the way, when you create a new, when you do this in a separate project, you want to make sure you're doing it on a second level. All right, so that's important, because on the first level, it's not going to give you the floor, because there's nothing there between, the ground and the first floor. Nothing there. So, as I understand it. So, just to be safe, we're going to, we do everything on the second floor or the third floor. It doesn't matter. All right. But the way to fix this is we just take away the walls, okay, and then we add our texture. Problem solved. Easy. Okay, so we're going to go in here to fix the height issue. So we're going to go to floor thickness in our modify floor levels, and we're going to change it to the 2 feet 6 inches that we desire for our build. Yours is going to be different, just based on every build is different. But if we give you just the baseline, the principles, and how to do things, you got it. Okay, so here is our soffit. I'm going to call it like a bulkhead, but it's not really a bulkhead, it's a soffit. So now we're good. We're going to bring this into our kitchen. We're going to put them up. And we don't have to do them for all the cabinets. We can do them for all the sides. So we'll have it over the sink, we'll have it over our prep counter, and we'll have it over our coffee nook, right? So as you can see there, yeah, that didn't take effect. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, we won't mind that. There is a reason for that. We're not going to get into it in this video. But there it is. Looks great. So that's easy. 3 to 5 minutes, and you're done without the others. Okay. So let's go ahead and focus on the cabinets. That's also super simple. It may take 10 minutes or whatever. 10, 15, 20 minutes. Depends on how quick you go. But at the same time, you want to have everything. You want to inspect as you go along. Because once you bring this back in, you can change it. But once you bring it in, you can't change things. Let's say a cabinet door is sticking out further than you would like. Once you bring it back into your project, you can't fix that. So, anyway, let's move along. So, we have scenario A and scenario B. Both of these scenarios are going to dictate how we set the cabinets up, because we want to have them enclosed. What we're going to do is take the handles off of these just for us. Okay, we're using Sweet Home items. This was a standalone cabinet, and so we're going to make them upper cabinets. All right, but we're going to get rid of the handles. But what we do, we're going to lose the sides, and we're going to lose the bottoms of the cabinets. So that's kind of an issue, but it doesn't matter because we're going to build the walls around them. Here's scenario B. Okay, scenario B is going to be different. Scenario A is going to say that we have a complete run from left to right with no gaps in the cabinetry. Scenario B says otherwise. We're going to go from left to right, but we're going to have 2 gaps. We're going to have one over the sink and one over our cooktop. Okay? Even though we have a microwave here, we've actually covered that gap. That means we're going to do the walls differently than we do in scenario B. So here's a little thing we want to take care of, a little tip here. So our cabinets are upside down. If we want to fix this in a group, you can do that by holding the control and highlighting the items you want to flip. All right, this is just an extenuating circumstance. So we're going to do a y-axis. We're going to flip 180 degrees on a y-axis. We don't want to do X in this case because it would flip, but it would show the backs. And there are no backs in our case. You may find upper cabinets that have backing, but we still want to do this process. Even if you do have backings and things like that, it's going to give it a cleaner look. And we'll show you what we're talking about here when we're finished. You'll see the finished product. All right, so we're going to do the same with the cabinets over the microwave. We're going to make sure that they're the same height, all that good stuff. Okay, we're not worried about the countertop. There's little counters on top of these. Again, these were standalone cabinets. We're not going to worry about those because they're going to be in the bulkheads or the soffit. I'm going to call them bulkheads. They look like bulkheads, but they're soffits. Let's keep it, proper. All right. So where are we at here? So we're going to tighten everything up. Okay. Again, we're going to inspect it to make sure we're happy with the way it looks before we export it. Because a lot of what we're doing here is just that. We're mocking it up the way we want it to look. We're going to export it to our other project so we can work on it. If we want to play around with settings, we can do that with no fear of, screwing up our project. So we are going to export this over to our save. Frog in my throat. Pardon me. But we'll go ahead and export this in. And then we're going to show you both scenarios. And both scenarios are actually going to give us the same outcome. That's the cool part. And it's going to look professional. Right? So this is one thing you may want to keep in mind if you're going to put a microwave here or something like a toaster oven or something. You want to check the door or window box. And so that means that you will not have a wall shown in the window of your microwave or toaster, what have you. If it has a window. If it doesn't have a window, don't bother. Just just export it and import it, as normal. But in our case, we have a window in our microwave, and it's not like it's like honey, the walls are done. So yeah, we don't want walls in our microwave. So basically, when we get around to the front here, we're gonna start drawing the front. The microwave, the walls are gonna ignore the microwave, okay? And the reason why we're drawing walls is for, we want to have the cabinets grouped as one unit. It's going to give it a nicer look, and there's going to be a bottom end to the cabinet. So if we want to add lights underneath, then you have a bottom end to do that. And it just, again, it gives it, we're trying to go for a professional look here. Okay, there we go. We're going to double click, and we're golden. So a couple things we're going to do here. Number one, we're going to make the walls in the front, we're going to color them black, just a straight black. Okay, and that's going to give say it with me, it's going to give the illusion of, a dark cabinet. Right now we can kind of see in there, we see some goings on inside there. Doesn't look too legit. So by making the wall black there, it'll give it a nice crisp, clean look. The other thing we want to do is just tuck in the walls. You can see they're sticking out on either side of the unit, so we want to go ahead and bring those in as well. So you may have to move, your cabinets around and until you get this right. Again, this may take, 10-15 minutes. If you get the hang of it, then you can do it the same way in any creation. All right, so here's scenario B. Scenario B says there is not a straight run from left to right. All right, there's some type of gap for whatever reason. In this case, again, we have a gap over the sink and we have a gap over the cooktop. So what we're going to do is rotate our cabinet on a x axis 180 degrees. All right, so now the doors are facing up, and then we're going to begin drawing our walls. It's going to do the same thing. We're going to have a bottom to our cabinets, so on and so forth. Okay, so it doesn't matter the design. It doesn't matter how they're laid out. You're going to get the same result, and right there it is. Right there it is. So it might take some practice. It took us, some time, but now you have a nice professional look. It doesn't look like, I don't know. We won't go into what it would look like, but we have a nice, clean, professional look. So anyway, we're going to end, video 2 here of the kitchen build series. If you like it, give it a big thumbs up. We would be appreciative. And if you like what we're doing here on the channel, consider subscribing, clicking the bell, and you will be notified when we do the next and final kitchen build series. So with that, we're going to sign off. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody.